Yo, it's Rob here from Showdown, and we are back doing anime hot takes from TikTok. Let's get right into it.
I just witnessed one of the worst anime takes in 2025, let alone in history. Long story short, there was this girl that said Goku is the exact same as Hisoka in Hunter x Hunter based off of how they approach fighting people.
How? I've never heard of this comparison ever being made before. This is interesting. I'm hype. I'm ready.
Basically, her argument was he's attracted to power the exact same way Goku is, which makes them the same. And I just gotta say, that is the worst take I've ever heard in the history of takes. And I've heard some pretty bad ones. Very bad. There was no heat applied to this take. None. I'm talking the darkest depth of space kind of cold. How the hell do you relate this to this in terms of how they fight people?
That's wild.
I even listened through her entire argument. It didn't make any sense. It just kept getting more and more convoluted. Hisoka is a weird ass dude. I don't need to elaborate any further. Goku is nothing like that. Not even close. And especially in terms of the way you described it, be so for real. I want to fight you at your strongest, so either I'm getting my ass beat or you're getting your ass beat. How does that even relate? How did you relate this to this? Like, I'm curious, what even made you want to voice that take? None of it made any sense.
Okay, so Goku and Hisoka have the same love for fighting because the way they approach fighting is similar. Honestly, I wish I had the original video because I have to see how she was able to bring point A to point Z. Like, how did that even make sense? Where did she find the connection? When you're looking at somebody like Goku, he likes to fight somebody that's stronger than him because he wants to push himself to get stronger. That's the whole point, breaking his limits, surpassing his limits. Hisoka is not trying to pass any limits. Hisoka is obviously on the weird side of things, okay? So when Hisoka is fighting, there's something else going on that we shouldn't really be talking about. Goku, on the other hand, is just trying to prove that he is the strongest and he wants to surpass his limits. He wants to be stronger than he was last time. And if somebody is stronger than him, he wants to see how powerful he could really become. That's why the whole tournament of power was a thing. Hisoka's not in Hunter x Hunter trying to make his own tournament or do anything like that. That is something that Goku will do when he's approaching his fighting because he loves to fight. Hisoka, on the other hand, there's usually some ulterior motives going on. Again, I wish I had the original video because I would love to see what she said because I really don't understand how you even come up with this.
If all 6 of these people went to a chess tournament together, who would win?
Okay, so an anime chess tournament, we have Lelouch, Shikamaru, Light, Meruem, Sora, and Ayanokoji. Now, this one is really tough. Just looking at this immediately, I'm thinking, are they allowed to use their powers or are we strictly just going off of how smart they are? Are we going off of their IQ? Let me see if he discloses that.
All right, let's get it right off the bat. Light Yagami is out.
Okay, so he didn't even disclose whether we could use powers or not. He just took Light out of the equation. Okay, so if we're going to assume, let's assume we can, I don't know, I think we're gonna have to look at both cases. If we are using powers for this, I think I'm gonna have to go with Lelouch winning. If we are not using powers, this is tough. Let's hear what he has to say and I'll give my take because right now there's 2 names and I don't know if I'm gonna lock in on them yet.
He's the first one out. I'm sorry, he doesn't hold a candle to these guys when it comes to that. Sorry, Light Yagami out. 5th place, we're gonna go and take Meruem. Meruem has that natural intellect and everything where he kept, playing the games and everything, but 5th place is all he's getting. I'm sorry, the other 4 are just that much better. In 4th place, where you're gonna have Lelouch.
No. There's no way. You have to understand that even though Shikamaru is a great strategist in the Naruto verse, Lelouch was even a greater strategist in Code Geass. Remember, Lelouch was operating as 0 of the Black Knights. He created the entire Black Knights while fooling the rest of the world that he wasn't even playing that character. Had Suzaku come in, play for him while he's doing other things, like Lelouch literally was playing the entire world, manipulating everybody on a string. Like, that's how strategic he was. That's how great he is. Shikamaru is great in his own right. But we're not gonna sit here and act like when you're talking about IQ versus IQ that we're not taking Lelouch. Shikamaru's gotta go. I can't have Shikamaru winning this one.
Now, Lelouch was very smart with the chess. He could be everyone, but he is smart enough too, in my opinion. But the other 3 are literally a next level. I'm sorry.
No.
Is now 4th place. 3rd place is actually gonna go to Shikamaru. Shikamaru was known as one of the smartest people.
Okay, so we have them swapped. I would take Shikamaru before Lelouch 100%, but okay, as long as Shikamaru is not winning, and I love Shikamaru, but let's keep it a buck.
Highest IQs in the village, but he does not hold even a candle to the next 2. Again, another level. Now, Second place is actually going to go to Sora.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so obviously he has Aya Koji winning. And what I will say is the last two names I had for this were either going to be Sora from No Game No Life or Aya Koji from Classroom of the Elite. And the only thing that was holding me back from picking Sora was the fact that he does not have Shiro with him. Like he's a package deal. When he has his sister with him and they operate as blank, they're unstoppable. And I'm honestly shocked that Jabami is not in here. Jabami Yumeko from Kakegurui should also be in the conversation because a lot of these people are getting maxed out by Jabami Yumeko. I just want to put that out there. If there's money on the line, for the most part, you bet on Jabami. But Sora and Shiro together would be unstoppable. They would clear the entire list. The fact that they are not together in this and it's just Sora makes me think that there's an opportunity for Sora to slip up somewhere. That's the only crime that Sora has committed by entering this tournament is the fact that he did not bring his sister with him. That's it. Aya Koji, on the other hand, let's see what he has to say about him, because you already know how I feel.
For, a great reason. He was the best at every game. He's literally in a game world where he is just dominating everyone, and he tied with the god of games he beat the god of games in chess. So he deserves second place. But Aya Koji would win this chess tournament flawlessly, hands down. We already saw it. He even mentioned that a chess computer would not be able to beat him. I'm sorry. Aya Koji is just built different. You're not beating him. Aya Koji wins this all day.
And we actually agree on this. Now, again, I think Lelouch would win if you're allowed to use powers. The Gias comes in handy. I think Lelouch will have a shot. Without the Gias, I think Lelouch would still fare really, really well. He probably finished top 3 for me personally, but I don't think he's winning overall. Aya Koji, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know that one of the greatest students in the entire school, Sake Yanagi, thought she had the entire school on lock? The way she was moving and carrying herself made it seem like there's nobody that could stop her. But she was worried about one character by the name of Aya Koji. Now listen, Aya Koji obviously was a leader of his class, basically single-handedly brought his class up to a higher rank because we already know Horikita wasn't ready for it, but he was holding back. Remember, Sake Yanagi and Aya Koji were both in the white room. They both had that experience growing up, but the way Aya Koji moves throughout the classroom of the elite is like he is emotionless. Nothing can faze him. Nobody, he doesn't even care if you're a teacher, you're a principal. He does not care about any of that. He literally moves like nothing can faze him. And we've seen it time and time again, no matter who it is. It doesn't matter if you're a school bully, if you're the smartest person, it does not matter. Aya Koji is literally unstoppable in the classroom of the elite. And when you're looking at Sake Yanagi, who thought she had the game on lock, she lost to Aya Koji while he was holding back. That level of disrespect is ridiculous. This reminds me of the time when Toppo got a hold on Frieza in the Tournament of Power. It was just straight domination. At some point, we actually felt bad for Frieza. It was similar to that, just in a chess match between these two. And that's why when you look at the rest of the people on this list, as great as all of them are, we have yet to see Aya Koji be put in a compromising position. Every single one of these characters has had their struggles. Aya Koji still looks like nothing can really stop him. He's a brainiac. He's a supercomputer walking. That's what it is. Let's go on to the next one, because I agree with him. I don't agree with the journey to get there, but I agree with the end result. Oh my gosh. I remember watching that and I'm like, Conquest dribbled Oliver, yo. Oh my gosh.
Big ass beatdown coming up. I think he was talking about himself because a big ass beatdown did come up. But it was Conquest beating on Oliver.
Yep.
The fact he even survived this amazes me. He got slapped so hard that he bounced off the ground like he was a basketball. If it was anyone other than Mark or Oliver that took the force of this attack, they would have turned into a pancake on the ground.
Yes.
And also, I just want to point out how much of a beast Oliver is going to grow up to be, because this guy's like, what, 12, 13, and he's already fighting against like the strongest Viltrumites out there.
And that's the thing. I don't see a lot of Invincible fans really bringing this up. The fact that Oliver at such a young age is battling against people like Conquest, I 100% agree with Tizzy here. Yo, Oliver, if he is allowed to grow up, because I have not read the comics, so I don't know what's going on in the comics, but if Oliver is allowed to grow up, he doesn't get knocked out of the game, Oliver has that hidden potential that might even rival Mark or even surpass past Mark, because Oliver's dealing with stuff that Mark wasn't even dealing with at his age. Remember, it wasn't until Mark got into high school where Nolan started to switch up. With Omni-Man around, Mark was not seeing people like this. Mark didn't even know people like this even existed for real. At Oliver's young age, he's always dying to get into the game constantly. Mark, take me outside, let's go fight some robbers, let's go box, let's get in the mix. And Oliver, sometimes he ignores his mom, he ignores his big brother, he goes into the mix anyway. So he's already seeing some villains that Mark has to deal with. Again, this is not the first time Oliver got into the middle of a fight that Mark was dealing with and fighting somebody on his level. Oliver threw himself in the mix with the Mauler, he threw himself in the mix with now Conquest, and there's some other fodder that he dealt with. But again, these are people that Mark is assigned to fight, whether he's under Cecil or not. So when you're looking at Oliver, you're putting all this together. Oliver in maybe 4 or 5 years, hey, they're gonna be calling for Oliver. They're not calling for Invincible. Like it's looking like that. It's really looking like that.
Yeah, he's not putting up much of a fight, but the fact that he's like 12 and he's able to survive fighting Viltrumites of this level,
exactly,
he's going to be insane when he grows up. But yeah, Oliver was absolutely humiliated in this scene. If I fought somebody and I was able to survive being bounced off the concrete like that, I'm flying away. Ain't no way I'm taking them on head on.
And it kind of brings it back to when you're thinking Dragon Ball Z. There's times when you're watching it, you kind of see that Mark is following that Gohan pipeline, and you see that Oliver is starting to follow the Goten pipeline. But there's a missing ingredient in all of this. Goten was not looking like how Oliver is looking. As a matter of fact, it was really Trunks and Goten together, and when they fused and became Gotenks, it was like, okay, now they're really here. They can hold off Majin Buu. But if we dial it back and look at strictly Goten by himself was nice, but the way Oliver's looking, and again, Goten was younger at this time, but Oliver is looking like he's about to be a second Gohan. Like, it looks like there's 2 Gohans right now. Like that's why you have to keep your eye out on Oliver. Like it's different. It's different here. When an animation studio picks up a fire manga.
Approved.
Yup. Oh my goodness. Follow the story exactly how it's in the manga. You know how many studios out there are infamous for never doing this. Which brings a major question. I had the pleasure of speaking about webcomics and webtoons being adapted into anime with Life with Anime Podcast and Animel, and we actually were talking about how webtoons aren't always getting picked up by the right studio.
I know I just saw someone said there's like 20 more webcomics that are now about to be, or webtoons that are going to be animated now.
They're entering the webcomic era now.
The issue is you have to have the right studios.
You do.
Them. You can't just pick these random studios. You have to have the right studio. Otherwise, everything that you built up.
Who has solo leveling?
That's what happened. That's what happened to God of High School.
Exactly.
God of High School. God of High School.
But also, they cut so much out of.
Yeah, that's the thing, bro. You have
to. God of High School had Mappa, right?
They had map, and that's what I'm saying. So I think it's a combination of
it's not even like about the studio. Yeah, it's also like directors in charge.
Exactly.
Script writers.
So like maybe this will follow accurately to the story, but it's not gonna.
And I think that's. but I think like I would rather it like fall to the story and it look okay than we cut out like what we just talked about, God of High School. Like they cut out so much to where it did not make sense.
Didn't make sense.
Like none of it made sense.
A lot of people that are anime onlys for God of High School couldn't really even tell me what happens because they skipped out on so much crucial information to the story. And for some reason, animation studios, especially when they can do very, very well on the artwork side of things and the fight scenes, they tend to speed up the pacing and cut out crucial information, which actually makes me worried for a series that I was really, really looking forward to see with the beginning after the end. Now, when I heard about this series, a lot of people were telling me, the webcomic is great, the novel is great, we love it, but I'm starting to see that a lot of fans of the beginning after the end are worried after seeing the trailer. I did see a little CGI in the trailer. It was a little worrisome, but I haven't read it, so I don't know what's missing. And it looks like the trailer is not promising. Now, I'm still gonna watch the anime and see what's going on. Hopefully they pull through, but when you're looking at these webcomics being adapted over and over, even Tower of God had some bumps in the road. There comes a time where we have to have a conversation that if you're going to adapt any of these great webtoons or webcomics, or just even manga in general, the animation studio and the directors that have it are really the bread and butter on whether a series succeeds or not. Because there are some great manga and webcomics out there that just got trash adaptations, and because of that, they're cooked. Which is why I'm excited to see some webtoons be adapted, because Solo Leveling is going crazy right now, but it also makes me worried about what's coming up. The beginning after the end was supposed to be one of the major titles, and its fan base is not really even hyping up the trailer. There's truth to this.
Rank these anime openings without knowing which one comes next.
Okay.
For a good one.
Hey. Okay.
I'm
JoJo's?
agree because I think I'm gonna be holding out for some better ones.
So it's good, but it's not great though.
In a perfect world, it would be number one. In my head, I'm like, God, my
Number one is kind of OD, but I respect it. It's JoJo's.
give me One Piece.
So you're a big fan of the One Piece opening?
Yes.
Yeah. My favorite One Piece opening, by the way, is Share the World. I know not everybody knows about it, not everybody's tapped in, but that's my goat. Okay, all right. Kogias Colors, that's rank 1. That's rank 1.
This one's a banger. I'm not gonna lie.
Colors. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Straight to
pretend like
number one.
high school me would punch me in the face.
Yes, sir. Okay. JJK?
This one's good too. All right, straight to number 2.
Yeah.
Straight to number 2.
I'm cool with
This is
that.
the best JJK opening.
No, it is.
Low key, the JoJo's opening might be too high here, because it's not even the best JoJo's opening. JoJo's first opening is not the best one. It's not. You might have to go to part 2 or part 4, or maybe even part 5, honestly. But part 2, man.
100%.
Yeah.
You could play this for non-anime fans, and they'd still say that the song was lit.
The visuals, everything.
It's nostalgic, even though it's so recent. It's also Gojo. Oh my God, no!
Oh, Ava.
You're picking out bangers right now.
Oh no! This feels bad. I've listened to like a million
Wow.
different versions of it. The Seinfeld version.
I only know the original.
They did a bunch of meme versions.
This show in general just has a lot of memes.
Not Bleach going in last place. That's crazy.
This one is arguably number 1 for me.
No, this takes me back. Okay. I think I was 12 trying to record this.
Oh wait. Oh, it was swapped. Hold on. He swapped it.
No, this takes me back. Okay. I think I was 12.
Oh wait. Whoa. Wait. So it got swapped? The swap for Code Geass is out of this world. By the way, this is crazy. That's not even the best Bleach opening. The best Bleach opening is Chubara. So I don't even understand how this happened. This swap is ridiculous. Code Geass Colors is rank 1 for me, if we're just going off this list. Then you would have to put JJK at number 2. JJK's in the right spot. I would swap Ava and JoJo's, put JoJo's at 4, Ava at 3, and then Bleach probably got to go at 5, because that's not my favorite Bleach opening. So that's my list personally. But again, this is a blind ranking. You did allow one swap, and the swap is crazy. I don't know if I would do that over Code Geass. I couldn't do that.
It's coming out this year.
Yes, it is.
So, which is actually the next part, and they got a release date for September.
Oh, September.
Yeah,
That's gonna be right around the corner.
I read somewhere, but it wasn't confirmed. It said they plan to bring a movie every 2 years. So at this rate, we'll be watching Demon
every
Slayer
2
until
years. You
2029.
see, but this is another. See, to this point, this is another thing, because I feel like they're gonna take this and drag it out so much, especially since the end of Demon Slayer is all fighting. It's all fights. It's not like there's any like substantial like plot or compelling dialogue. That it's all fights. And like literally, like why there's no reason to drag it out for
all smoke and one single arc too. That.
Yeah, well, technically two arcs, but like there's like I don't think we need to drag this out for 5 years. I don't think so. Like there's literally no reason for it, and like it's gonna give people a bad taste in their mouth about Demon Slayer. So I wish that they didn't do that.
Because the amount of content left, it would make sense if it was just one last season, like a longer season, but.
Yeah, I mean, I understand them wanting to like recoup a lot of their money by doing a theatrical release, but if they were going to do that, they should have just released one movie every year.
Definitely a very interesting conversation. When you're looking at Demon Slayer, I believe it was years ago where I stated that Demon Slayer changed anime forever, and that's by popularizing making canon movies, canon films. Now, it's not to say that there's no other anime that's ever done that, but the fact that it popularized it and forced so many other series to make movies on canon material, of course, we were gonna head down this direction. Now, I am a fan of Mugen Train. I'm not really the biggest fan of the recap episodes and then one canon episode in theaters. If there's one studio that I can trust that will deliver in the movies, and even in anime in general, it is Ufotable. They're going to deliver. So even though we don't like things being broken up into different pieces, I think that once it's all said and done and you're actually in the theater, everyone's gonna really love it because Demon Slayer does deliver animation quality wise and story wise too, because let's be honest, even the Demon Slayer manga fans have admitted that the manga is not really that in depth. It doesn't go much further than this. Really what needs to happen now is we need to see the flashes and the sword fights and all the other good stuff that we like to see in the movies, because the manga is not going to give us any more sauce. The manga's been done for years, and I think because they are in Ufotable's hands, they are in good hands. Not every IP can get away with this. Not every title can get away with this. Like AOT had its issues. Other series would definitely have their issues as well if they tried to pull this stunt. But because Demon Slayer and Ufotable are like this, I believe they can make it happen. Ufotable is literally used to doing stuff like this with, you know, obviously we've seen the Fate series that's broken up into a million different pieces, movies, OVAs, all types of different things, and Ufotable has been able to deliver for them as well. So I have faith, but I get it. If you're a manga reader for Demon Slayer, maybe you don't like to see everything broken up like this, and I can understand it. I just think that because they are with Ufotable, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. We're in good hands. Now, you guys let me know down in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with any of these hot takes. Make sure you guys show love to everybody that we just watched. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.